So most Israelis are actually trying to move to the U.S. People from all over the world are dying to get to America. To assume that every Israeli has dual citizenship is not true. But they always tell you that when you're in Israel, be careful like what girl starts hitting on you. There's a lot of girls who just sort of latch on to you just to get citizenship. This happens all the time. And guys, by the way. This happens in the Middle East in general. So ladies and men, beware. But yeah, it's a thing that Israelis want to leave Israel. The ones who want to stay are the ones who are idealistic, religious Zionists, people who actually make Aliyah. And truth be told, the vast majority of those leave also. The vast majority of people who make Aliyah leave Israel. Case in point, I made Aliyah as a religious Zionist. I left as a non-Zionist. But I mean, I go back every year. There's no actual halacha to live.
Really tough topic, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going to happen. No, but I was trying to think about groups like the Torah Carta and what makes them to be anti-Israel. Because there had to be, unless they were born into this ideology, there had to be the straw that broke the camel's back, right? There had to be something where they said, you know what, I can no longer support this state. Truth be told, the average person who's anti-Zionist from that perspective was born into the ideology. There aren't too many people who just become anti-Zionist like this. And most of these people who look ultra-Orthodox like this, they hold to this ideology like just like a Catholic takes a Eucharist and a Muslim prostrates when he prays. Right? They're just anti-Israel because that's just the dynasty they happen to belong to. Not that the Torah Carta is a Hasidic group, they're actually Litvish. But yeah, it's their ideology. However, there was a law that they tried to pass twice already, that if they would pass this law, I would cease supporting the state of Israel. Because not because I still don't think it's a great ally in the Middle East, but then it would begin to tarnish Judaism as a religion. It would begin to tarnish Torah every day it continued to exist. So I rather the state of Israel be burned to the ground than Torah be compromised. Right now, the Torah in Israel as it exists today has remained pretty much intact, meaning the Rabbanut, although not the most impressive individuals out there, have done a decent job, not the best job, but a decent job in welcoming converts, in not showing the world that they're a bunch of bigots and racists, that it's not all blood and this and that. However, there was a law, like I said, it was endorsed by Shas, that they were going to make it that any convert, any person who converted to Judaism would not be eligible to make Aliyah. If that law would pass, they would solidify the idea that they're racist. That being Jewish is solely blood-based. And it would nullify the whole Jewish experiment. There's 3 cardinal sins in the Torah that God says that he specifically would destroy the Jewish people over. For some reason, people never teach this. It's when Israel as a whole starts to mistreat the Almana, the Yatum, and the Ger, which is the Almana is the widow, the Yatum is the orphan, and the Ger is the convert. Right when Israel, in this case collectively, it can't be done in more of a collective manner than it being voted into by the Knesset, if they would actually do that, they would nullify their whole purpose on this planet, which is essentially to lead people in the right direction. That's the purpose of Jews. Whether you want to call that proselytizing, I don't know who would come to the kosher belief in one God and not want to be Jewish, right? That's what the Gemara says. The Gemara says that the reason we're in Gullus, the reason we're in exile, is in order to acquire converts. If Israel would ever outlaw converts from immigrating to Israel, I would become a staunch anti-Zionist. I'm an anti-Zionist not from a religious perspective, but not from a secular perspective. Because from that point, every day it continues to exist under the name of Israel, it would be tarnishing the true faith. So I think to myself that Torah Carta must have a similar idea. However, where they drew their mark was probably, every